Hello everybody, my name is Brandon Hopkins. I'm a Linode developer advocate, and this right here is Joplin. This is by far one of my favorite note-taking, markdown editing text applications in existence today. Joplin specifically is a free and open source alternative to Evernote that gives you a ton of functionality, and the main focus of this video, other than Joplin itself, is going to be setting up our very own synchronization server using the Linode one-click installer. Before we get into that, this right here is Joplin, just to kind of, if you're not familiar with the application, this is what it looks like when you first install it. You have a little welcome notebook and all your various notes in here. And this will just run you through some of the synchronization tips, the privacy policy and all that. But it does a really good job of showing what Joplin can do within all these kind of example notes. It uses Markdown, so you can write in Markdown, which if you're not familiar with, it's just a really easy to learn type or way to write and format your text. A lot of online services and chat clients and websites use Markdown for the formatting, and this is a very good way to write it. But if you are not interested in Markdown and you want a standard rich text editor, I could just go ahead and click right here and I could begin editing this way. And of course we have all of the typical formatting buttons such as bold, italicize. We have some more settings here, links, inline code, code blocks, files, bullets, lists, and a whole heck of a lot more, including tables and the ability to insert time and dates. Within the UI of Joplin, you already saw the notes and the notebooks over here, but we also have tags. We can search between the notes. We can add to-do lists. There's really a lot. And the cool thing about this is it's cross-platform, so you can install this on Linux, Windows, Mac, iPhone, Android, whatever it may be, and you can synchronize all your notes together. Now, if we go ahead, go over here, this is the main Joplin website, and Joplin does actually have a cloud option. If we go over to Joplin Cloud, you can see some of the plans they have, but doing it on Linode, you're going to get a lot more storage, and it's going to be a little bit cheaper. You can see here their Pro plan limits you to 200 megabytes per note attachment. At just about $7 US, you get 10 gigabytes of storage. On the Node over here, using their cloud price calculator, and if we go over to the shared CPUs, the smallest Nanode 1 gig plan is only $5 and we get 25 gigabytes of storage. So you're already saving a little bit of money if you do it this way. And if you use the link down below, you could get a $100 60-day credit to save yourself even more money. So with that, let's go ahead and dive on to the installation with this one-click installer. So I'm over here on cloud.linode.com under the Create Linode page, and we're going to be using the Marketplace to do this. So just click on Marketplace, and now if we scroll down, we will see Joplin. We can hit this I right here to get a little bit extra information, but from here we can just go ahead and scroll down and begin the Joplin configuration options. Now I am going to be doing this on a domain name. It just tends to work a lot better this way. So you can go ahead and link up your domains on Linode. You just create the domain, add it, and then through your domain's registrar, you're going to want to put in the proper Linode name servers. This may take a little bit to propagate, but once it's done, you should be good to go. And through that Marketplace one-click installer, it's going to do a lot of the work for us when it comes to creating our subdomains and setting up everything, all the A records properly. And to do that, before we go ahead and configure our Linode, what I'm going to do is go to API tokens. You can see I've been using this quite a bit. It's a wonderful little thing. So I'm going to just go ahead and create my own personal access token. I'm going to call this Joplin Linode here and make sure and give everything read-write privileges and create the token. So this is my token. I'm going to give that a copy and save it. So now we can go ahead and run through these Joplin configuration options. First, I'm going to go ahead and put in my email, which is going to be used for the Let's Encrypt SSL certificate. Give a password for the database here. It's always good to go ahead and create a limited pseudo user. It's just best practice. And using an SSH key is also best practice, but for now I'm going to go ahead and skip that. Disable root over SSH, no. API token, that's what we just copied, so I'm going to go ahead and paste that on in there. And for this, the subdomain, I'm just going to call this Joplin. And then this is going to go under the domain name techhut.tv. So then if I travel to joplin.techhut.tv, we should be good to go. Under image, this is your distribution. Currently, this is only set up for Ubuntu, so we're going to use Ubuntu. Region, good practice just to pick the server closest to you or your target audience. And then for here, this isn't too intensive of a process, so the Nanode 1 GB plan at $5 a month is going to be perfectly fine. And Joplin's pretty lightweight, so you are going to be able to do more with this actual Linode if you would like to. But going on from there, let's go ahead and add our label. I'm just going to call this Joplin tutorial and then give ourselves a root password. Here is where we could add SSH keys if you are going to be using this quite a bit for a lot of different things. I would almost recommend doing backups at $2 a month. It's really not that bad of a deal. So from there, let's go ahead and create our Linode. So now our server just went ahead and booted up. Now it's going to need to run through all the installation processes for everything that it's doing. You can kind of see that here, doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us. Probably going to take about 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm just going to close this out and let it do what it needs to do. And after it's been some time, we could just go ahead and launch the console again, and we can see the installation is complete. So now what we should be able to do is open up a new tab and go to that domain we created. In this case, it's going to be joplin.techhut.tv. Hit enter, and then here we are. This is the Joplin server login. Now this right here is the GitHub setup guide for Joplin. You could also install this in Docker if you want to just put this on a pre-existing Linode you already have spun up. But if we scroll down here under the option for accessing our administrator page, you can see the main admin email will be admin@localhost with a password of admin. So I'm going to give that a copy, go to my Joplin server here, and paste in this email, and then the password should be admin. So we can log in there, give that a save, and here we are in our account. And like I said, you're not going to have really any limits other than what you pick for your Linode. So the max item size, there's no limits. Max total size, no limits. And this is one of the primary benefits to self-hosting this thing. So to start using Joplin Server, you download one of their apps, which we already have this one on the computer, so we will be setting that up in just a sec. And it kind of goes over some of these synchronization settings and how to get this set up. Now, before we do this, it's not very secure to keep the defaults. So what we're going to want to do is go over to admin. And first things first, we're going to want to change our email. I'm going to change this to brandon@techhut.tv, which is my email. And I'm going to give this a different password. Says it's weak. Let's see if it's going to let me do it. So it wants it to be a little stronger than that. Fair enough. So now we're going to update the profile, save that, and it says a confirmation email has been sent to the new address. Now, depending on your Linode settings, you might not get that email. You're going to need to open some ports and things like that. If you want to go ahead and skip that, what we can do is go right here and click on admin. And then from here, we could go under emails, and this is where we're going to be able to get that code. So I think it's right here, confirm your new Joplin account email, click that. And here it says, please confirm by clicking this link. And you can see it's written in Markdown as well. I'm just going to give this a copy real quick and paste this in. And there we go. Our email has been confirmed. So if I go back over to the admin account here, it's going to use my proper email. And of course, you could change your name if you'd like to as well. There we go. And if we do go back to our admin panel, you can see some of the other options we have. So under users, we can add more users if we would like to, give people more access or access in general to our Joplin server. We have user deletions here. We have tasks that you can have the Joplin server run, and you already saw the emails. This is everything that has been sent out, so you can view it all here. You don't have outgoing email properly set up. But what we're going to do is actually connect this Joplin server to one of our Joplin clients. The instructions is right here, so I'm going to go ahead and copy our URL. So if I give that a copy, and then let's head over to Joplin. So this right here is our Joplin instance. I'm going to go ahead and click on the synchronize button right there. And here it's going to give us some options for Joplin Cloud, which we looked at earlier. You can use Dropbox or OneDrive. But right here you see it says self-hosting. Joplin also supports self-hosting options. So what we're going to do is click here to select one. And then from there under synchronization target, we're going to want to go with the Joplin server beta, which is what we're using. Paste in our URL that we just copied for this instance. It's joplin.techhut.tv. Add our server email, so that is whatever email you gave it, and then your password. So now what we can do is click the check synchronization configuration, and if all goes well, it's going to say success. It has, or it does appear to be correct. And we have some advanced options if you would like to check those out. For what we're doing, this is perfectly fine. So from there, we should be good to go back, and let's click synchronize. So give that a click. And then right here, you could see everything that it's doing. It created some remote items, fetched items, and completed the synchronization task. So now if I were to go ahead, download Joplin on my phone, log in using our synchronization server, these welcome to desktop or welcome to Joplin notes will be available, and any other notes and notebooks that I create going forward. And if we do head back over to our Joplin server, we can actually see through here some of the things that it went ahead and did. If I click on items, it's not really the most plain text, easy to read type of data, but we do have these markdown files. If I were to click on one of these, open this up with a text editor, we could see some of the data that we just downloaded. Chances are you're not going to need to really play around in here too much, but the option is there. So that's about it. That's how you set up your very own Joplin synchronization server using Linode. Like I said, if you already have some instances spun up and you have one for general services, you could do this very easily with Docker as well. Being that Joplin is one of the very best Markdown text editing applications, this is fantastic to be able to self-host this, and very easy to do with Linode. Again, $100 60-day credit at the link down below. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for a ton of different cloud computing content with multiple new videos every week. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring that bell. Have a beautiful day, and goodbye.